We're less than a year away from the 2026 World Cup, yet there's no news about an official game coming out. Now, the reason for this is that EA have lost the FIFA license. And as things stand, there might not be a 2026 World Cup game. And that really makes me sad. Because throughout history, the World Cup games have been some of my favorite football games ever. And now to see these games potentially not exist in the future, nah man, I don't want that to happen. And so today, I'm gonna replay every World Cup game that was ever made. And I'm hoping that someone at EA and FIFA sees this, they realize just how amazing these games were, and hopefully decide to come together and give us a banger game for 2026. Now, to start things off, we're going all the way back. This is PS1 times, folks. FIFA 98 Road to the World Cup. I wasn't even born when this game was out, so naturally, I've never played it before. But now, why does this have a cold intro? Okay, the graphics definitely haven't aged well, because I can barely read the text. But the menus are kind of cool. Everything's right in front of me. And actually, let's rate every World Cup game that we play. We'll be rating them on 3 categories: gameplay, graphics, as well as the game modes. It's gonna be interesting to see which World Cup game gets the highest rating. Do you know what? I thought this World Cup 98 game was going to be rubbish. But look at this. The qualifying rounds are in this game. And bro, they've pretty much got every nation that takes part in World Cup qualification. Bro, we don't even get this in the modern World Cup games. They've literally not missed a single team because there's Maldives in this game. I didn't even know they had a football team. Okay, I'm picking Brazil because I'm sure the 1998 Brazil team was insane with like R9 and all. Okay, this might be the worst team management screen. I can barely understand a thing. But I do see Roberto Carlos in my team. There's Rivaldo as well. Juninho. Oh, and we got R9. He's got 99 acceleration. I don't know. How do you even see stats? I can only see like pace and stuff. There's Cafu as well. I'm curious to seeing the England team from back then. Bro, there's Gareth Southgate here. David Beckham as well. Gary Neville is there. Ian Wright. The fact that you can play through the entire World Cup from the qualifying round for a game that released in 1998. Wait a minute. You can play like a direct penalty shootout from the menus itself? I don't think that's even there in the current games. All right, let's try a penalty shootout between England and France. Okay, I'm going to be France because I want to see their lineup. Because I think they won the World Cup back in 98. And look at that. They've got Zizou. Thuram Blanc is there. Deschamps, who's their current manager. Okay, these graphics are kind of like Roblox, but I did score my pen. Wow, there's celebrations and all. Okay, let me try and save a penalty. I don't know how to save. Oh, he's missed. England missing penalties. What's new? Bro, scoring pens is just so easy on this game. Oh, I almost saved it.
I am dead inside.
That came off the post. How? Okay, that's a relief. Horrible miss right there. It's crazy to think that the penalty system from FIFA 98 is kind of what's used even now. Not much difference. And I finally made a save, boys. Let's go. And I think that means we've won the World Cup here. Okay, graphics-wise, I don't think I can give this game more than a 1. Because my goodness, man, it really feels like it's Roblox FIFA edition. But for game modes, I think I definitely got to give it a 5 because look at this. There are Premier League clubs as well in the game. Arsenal's in there. There's, of course, Chelsea, Man United. They didn't need to put this in. I mean, why have they even put them? It's a World Cup game, but they've still gone the extra mile to put at least the top 5 leagues. Let's now test out the gameplay, and why are there these amazing real-life cutscenes to start with? That is kind of cold. Okay, boys, I don't think the gameplay has aged well. Okay, I tried a bit of a skill move. I guess that worked. Bro, this is so frustrating. I can only see my frame. Like, I can't see the players ahead. How do I even play like this? Oh, what a pass. What a pass. And actually scored with R9. Bro, that's like Voldemort, man. That does not look like R9. Unfortunately, this gameplay didn't really impress me, but it was still kind of fun, so I'm gonna give it a 2. Final score, though, for FIFA 98, a solid 8. Let's move on now to the next World Cup game. Okay, I've got the PS2 version of the 2002 FIFA World Cup game, and bro, this feels like a proper leap. You can actually recognize the player models, the animations as well. There are proper animations for passing and shooting. But then you dig deeper, and oh man, all this game has is like the 2002 World Cup mode, and that's it. No qualifiers, nothing. All you can do is play with the teams that qualified for the World Cup, so this game basically has just 32 teams. Compared to what we had for the 98 World Cup game, this does feel kind of meh. Although it's cool to see all the lineups here. We've got Spain's World Cup team. Bro, Xavi was playing back in in 2002. Fair enough. There's Puyol, Casillas. Ooh, we've got Argentina, who've got Diego Simeone, who's now, of course, a coach. There's Hernan Crespo, Zanetti. Brazil, as usual, have a goated team, man. R9 is there. Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Ronaldinho. This is, of course, the year they won the World Cup. Oh, and this England team now has Stevie G. Yes, I would love to see Emil Heskey in that team.
These are the eyes, you know it's
But honestly, I'm kind of gutted there's nothing else to do in this. All I can do is play like the World Cup. Gotta say, though, that the menus have been upgraded massively, like changing lineup and all makes a lot more sense now. But that's expected, you know, there's a 4-year gap between each game. But in terms of game modes, I gotta give this like a 1 out of 5. Even that feels generous. But yo, graphically, the PS2 absolutely cooked. I mean, they've got a pre-game light show here. The stadium actually looks like a stadium now. But the player models, that feels like the biggest upgrade. And the way they move as well, they kind of move like actual players. Graphically, definitely there's been a massive upgrade. But of course, we can't really compare it to the current graphics we have. So I will just give it a 2. Now, even though the game looks better, the gameplay kind of feels similar to the FIFA 98 one, which I don't think is a good thing. Okay, this is how you take free kicks, boys. I'm taking a free kick with David Beckham. Bro, imagine I score this. That would be kind of insane, but I just hit the wall. Wait a minute, did Zlatan Ibrahimovic just score on me? Well, Zlatan scoring against England. I guess some things never change. I'm sorry, boys. The gameplay is super frustrating to play. It is better than FIFA 98, so we'll give it a 2. But that means the World Cup 2002 game gets a shocking rating of just 5. I really thought that every new game we try out was going to be just better than the previous one. But now, already FIFA 98 has got a higher score. Let's now move on to the 2006 World Cup to see if that's any better. Okay, I've now booted up the 2006 World Cup game. We're still on the PS2, but for some reason, the graphics and everything all around looks so much better. And also, look at this. It's got a choose your team section at the start. And even the countries that haven't qualified for the World Cup are in this. I think EA learned from their mistake. The 2006 World Cup game has got pretty much all the nations. I guess we'll just choose Italy because they won the World Cup that year. This was, of course, the year of Zizou's headbutt. Not gonna lie, I do like the menus and there seems to be a lot more content. One thing I do want to see though, the Portugal and Argentina squads. Let's start with Portugal. I'm pretty sure this was the first year Cristiano Ronaldo was in the World Cup game, and there you go. And I guess finally the graphics had gotten good enough to show player faces. Because look at that, we've got young Ronaldo up there. And to be honest, the player model doesn't look all that bad. Ronaldo was 90 rated already back in 2006. How crazy is that? And of course, we got to see the Argentina team and see who's higher rated. Ooh, Messi wasn't even in the starting 11 back at this World Cup. Was he even in the squad? Oh, is that Lionel Scaloni? Yo, Argentina's current World Cup winning manager. But there is Leo Messi in the reserves. And oh man, bro was just 77 rated. And by the way, there's like a practice game mode where you literally go on a training ground and just do some practice stuff. That kind of reminds me of the arena, which we used to have in some of the older FIFAs. One thing that really annoys me is that why is like the camera so zoomed in? Oh, okay, no. This is kind of like the modern camera we have. And I love the fact that we're in like a training ground. And look at that, boy. Since it's a training session, I can literally do like free kick practice and everything. This wasn't there in the previous World Cup games. Although I think I'm really bad with free kicks. Yeah, I can't take them. Now, let's test out the actual World Cup game mode on this game. And it's pretty good, boys. We can straight away play from the World Cup finals. Or we can literally start from any of the continent's qualifiers. I actually want to do a World Cup sim just to see who would win. Logic says it should be Italy because they won in real life. But let's select Portugal and see if we can get Ronaldo a World Cup. I mean, he's 90 rated. Let's just see what happens. Okay, these were the official World Cup groups from back then. But what if we just randomize it and see what happens? Am I saying things, or is Argentina and Portugal in the same group? Bro, I love the menus, man. They're so much better. You can easily get the information you need. Even squad management has been simplified. I guess since these World Cup games come every 4 years, EA gets a lot of time to just constantly improve. Like, this feels like a game that you can even have a bit of fun playing now. Whereas, yeah, FIFA 98 and 2002, they really haven't aged that well. By the way, look at how cool the loading screens were. You get these packs that probably you never need in your life. Okay, we're now testing out some gameplay. Argentina versus Portugal. And look at how the pre-game cutscene is. The crowd looks actually decent. Don't forget, this is still a PS2 game. Now, I didn't really like the gameplay all that much on, of course, FIFA 98 as well as 2002. But honestly, the 2006 game feels so much better. In terms of like the passing and the animations, it kind of feels like a modern game with just extremely bad graphics because, of course, the time it was made in. But look at how I'm able to pass the ball and and move it around. It's so much fun. Ronaldo is now on it, crossing it in. And a chance for me. No, I couldn't get the shot. But okay, with Cristiano Ronaldo going for goal, but skies it. Do you know what, boys? I am mighty impressed with the gameplay. It feels so much fun. I'm going to give this a 3 on 5. Oh, and I'm about to score. And yes, let's go. And we have proper celebration graphics as well that look pretty darn good. You can kind of recognize who the players are. For that reason, even for the graphics, I think I'm going to have to give this like a 3 out of 5. Okay, Argentina did just cook me. That was a crazy good header. But yeah, the only thing we now need to rate for this game, the game modes. And honestly, things are already looking good as we can play through the entire World Cup, even from the qualifiers. But also, look at the other cool stuff that was in this game, like this EA Passport, where every time you beat a team, you kind of get their passport stamp. How cool is this feature, man? Like, honestly, if I had this back in 2006, I would be collecting stamps all day. But yeah, I was like 6 years old back then, so I couldn't do it. One thing that's a bit annoying is that you can't simulate back on this 2006 World Cup game. I bet it's because the PS2 just couldn't handle it. It would probably explode. Now, apart from the World Cup mode, there's also that penalty shootout game mode, which I remember I saw in like FIFA 98, which is awesome. There's also a global challenge mode where you've got like crazy scenarios to kind of overcome and you earn like medals for completing them. This is actually awesome. I think so far this is the best World Cup game yet. I'm gonna give it a 5 on 5 for the game modes. That means the 2006 World Cup game takes the #1 spot with 11 points. And I'm curious to see if any of the future titles can beat this score. Well, we are now moving on to the 2010 World Cup game, which honestly holds a special place in my heart. It was the first World Cup game I ever played. And also, we've now got a generational leap. This is on the PS3. And already the menus itself have got me super excited. You've got the World Cup mode, story of qualifying, which means there is a qualifying mode in this game. But there's also Captain Your Country. I definitely want to try this out. You can choose like a qualifying region. Let's keep it Europe. Start Captain Your Country. What does this do? Okay, so we can now select any country that's available in the game. And these are not just World Cup nations. These are any European nations. We'll select Spain, because they won the World Cup that year. And okay, this is basically a create a player game mode, which means we can add Cidinho. Okay, I should have chosen Brazil then, because Cidinho is Brazilian. That's where he gets the Inho from. But I guess we'll just give him a Spanish surname, and the only one I can think of is Lopez. Do you know what? I'm gonna randomize his appearance. And Cidinho has just become a 6'5" monster, but only 109 pounds. Why is he featherweight with that kind of height? Well, I did say I wanted to randomize him. We'll also randomize his boots and everything else, okay? And oh wow, you now start with the European qualifiers. And look at the menus, man. These remind me of the old school career mode menus. There's a page to see all your stats. Oh, and there's like an arena game mode. How cool is this? This takes me back, bro. This takes me back. I just realized since I randomized my player, I do have green hair. I don't know why. But you know what's crazy? I feel like the graphics are an improvement, but not as much as you'd think. Or maybe I'm just blind, or like the PS2 version of FIFA 2006 looked really good. Okay, I take that back. The graphics do look like a serious upgrade, especially on the pitch. The models, not so much. Oh, and this, by the way, is like proper player career mode. Like, I can only control my player. Okay, my challenge now is to score a goal, but I'm just getting taken out there. And we just scored a free kick. Cesc Fabregas. Okay. Oh, but this is my chance to get a goal. Cidinho, no. Can I please score? Everybody's just pushing me off the ball, man. That's a pen. It's a free kick at the edge of the box, and I don't get to take it. Oh, and he hits the wall anyways. Okay, maybe it's a skill issue, but I'm not gonna lie. The gameplay is really frustrating. I don't know why, but I feel like the PS2 version, the FIFA 06 one, was a lot simpler. And what is this AI, man? They just try to take you out at every opportunity. And my penalty stat is so bad that I don't get to take the pen. Come on, Cesc. At least you can score. There you go. But yeah, I think I've had enough of this gameplay. I'm sorry. I don't think I can rate it better than the 2006 version. So we're gonna keep it at a 3 out of 5. Graphics, I've got to say, they're starting to get better and better, so we'll give it a 4. But let's explore what else this game has got to offer, because I think it needs a lot more if it wants to get a perfect rating for the game modes. First, though, I want to see the comparison between Messi and Ronaldo from back then. Oh, that's surprising. Ronaldo got a downgrade from a 90 back in 2006 to 88. I think probably the rating system changed. Okay, this time Messi was a starter, but he was only 86. But yo, just look at that Spain squad, man. Absolutely insane. Iniesta, Xavi, Fernando, Fernando Torres, David Villa, Puyol and Piqué at the back, even Sergio Ramos, Casillas in goal. I want to do a World Cup sim, and I'm wondering if that was in the game now. Okay, we'll try doing it with Argentina. And nope, the quick sim feature thing was still not introduced. Bro, we're on the PS3. Surely that can handle all of this. Looks like this was also the first World Cup game where there was online game modes. Oh, this is awesome. There's a completely different mode called Story of Qualifying. Oh, is this like a scenario game mode? I think it is. This is actually pretty awesome, boys. Like, you can live through some of the real-life qualification stories. And also there are challenges from the 2010 World Cup itself. There are even challenges from the 2006 World Cup game. Gotta say though, now that I've revisited this game, I feel like the 2006 World Cup game had more content. It's still good. It's nowhere near as bad as the 2002 game, but I think I'm gonna only give it a 4 out of 5. And that kind of ties the 2010 game with the 2006 game, which I think is fair. Based on what you've seen, let me know in the comments which game you think is better. But off we go now to 2014. Now, there's an interesting story about this, because back in 2014, the next-gen consoles were out, but EA kind of got lazy. They did not release a World Cup game for the next-gen consoles, and that's why I've got a very rare copy of the World Cup 2014 game on the PS3. It's called the Champions Edition. It's completely different than what FIFA 14 was on next-gen. And looks like this was the first World Cup game we got the tile menu format, which I do kind of like. In fact, I love how vibrant the menus are. That's because, hey, this was the Brazil World Cup. Of course, there had to be some color. And looks like this game is quite similar to the 2010 edition, because you've got the Captain Your Country game mode, but there's a lot more in this now. You can actually grow your players' attributes, and then, of course, you'll get the armband and hopefully lead your country to the World Cup. And also, there are all the countries that take part in the World Cup qualification itself. I think EA definitely learned their mistake from 2002 by not including the qualification. That's like the bare minimum for a World Cup game. And again, you've got the Story of Qualifying game mode where you can just play through different scenarios. Of course, you can play a full campaign of the World Cup. And yup, it starts with the authentic qualifying schedule. I think this game feels more like an iteration to the 2010 rather than anything brand new or something. By the way, I've just loaded up the practice arena and look at how good this looks. And of course, I'm using Neymar. Also, the controls now feel much more recognizable. I can actually do skill moves and everything properly. This feels the closest to like a modern FIFA or FC title. Oh, by the way, we got to check up on the battle between Messi and Ronaldo. Let's check Messi first this time. Okay, I think this was peak Leo Messi. And in this World Cup, he also reached the final 94 overall. Now, Ronaldo too had a crazy overall of 92, but this time Messi does get the win. I also want to check up on Neymar. How good was he back then? Oh, an 87. He probably would be higher rated if he didn't get injured. Okay, let's try and play through this World Cup with Brazil. Maybe try and win them the World Cup, because of course we know what happened against Germany. Oh, and wow, the World Cup starts with a news article, the EA Sports Daily. This is actually a cool touch. And guess what, boys? This was the first World Cup where you could actually sim through games. But there was no proper screen, so it didn't show you the scoreline and everything. But we do get the win against Croatia. Okay, we managed to beat Mexico as well. Even Cameroon. And look at that, boys. We do end up topping the group. I'm actually curious if we can sim our way to the final. Any surprises so far at this World Cup? Nah, it looks like all the top teams have gone through, except England. Of course, England get knocked out. We're now facing Netherlands, and no way it was a draw, but it doesn't show whether we went through or not. What is this? Okay, we did go through just about on penalties. It does show it right here. We're facing Uruguay. Wait a minute, boys. If we beat Uruguay, we're gonna have a rematch against Germany, and we did beat Uruguay, and it's Brazil versus Germany. Are you actually joking?
It's over. We are screwed.
The only good thing is that Neymar is actually fit for this game. Also, I just realized the players grew throughout the World Cup. That's a mechanic this game had. Like, Neymar was 87 when he started. Now he's 89. And would you believe it? With Neymar, it was enough to get the job done. Brazil have knocked out Germany. And we're about to play a World Cup final against Spain. Argentina didn't make it to the final, unlike real life. And I guess this is a perfect opportunity to test out the gameplay and also get Brazil a World Cup. Oh, by the way, this was the era where pre-game, while the game loaded, you could actually play skill games. And okay, even though this is still on the PS3 and not next gen, it does look a lot better than 2010. Even the World Cup trophy looks so good, but what is that for a crowd? Why has somebody just painted their face black? Okay, player models look a lot better. Look at Xavi and PK. They look pretty much as realistic as it gets. Even like the managers. Is this the point where we start saying, yeah, like graphically the game really can't get better? Well, I don't think so just yet. So I'm going to give the graphics a 4. Game modes wise, I'm going to give this a 4 as well because I think this had everything you needed. Like there was create a player. You could play through the entire World Cup from qualifying as well. Okay, yeah, but on the pitch, the gameplay kind of feels similar to everything I've played so far. Not really a big change. It feels like every 4 years the game is improving, but not as much as I would have hoped for. Oh, but look at that Marcelo. Cross for Neymar. Ooh. Uh-oh, we've let Spain through and they've actually scored. Even though I just conceded, guys, I'm really enjoying myself here playing FIFA 14, basically. The gameplay actually feels super fast, super responsive. Bro, this might be my favorite version I've played today so far. Oh, chance to score. Oscar. Oh, what a banging goal. Crossing for Neymar. And did that just score a header with Neymar? Dare I say it, that this is more fun than some of the modern football games I've played. In fact, gameplay-wise, I think I'm going to give this a 5. It's super fun. The animations are awesome as well. Yeah, it doesn't look the best. That's why we've given it graphically 4. I mean, we know it will get better, but come on, gameplay. It's a lot of fun. Well, we just won the World Cup with Brazil. And I guess it's a good time to say that the 2014 World Cup game is going top of the leaderboard. So far, it's been the best World Cup game I think I've played. The most complete package. I would love to say that things keep getting better from here. But next up, we're going to FIFA 18, which, by the way, I would say was the downfall of the World Cup games. This EA stopped releasing individual games and started just adding DLC content, which was mostly just Ultimate Team. And you can see why I'm disappointed, man, because look at the World Cup mode. This is all we've got. You can play like maybe online games, kickoff. There's, of course, World Cup Ultimate Team, but that won't work now because they've shut down the servers. The only thing you could do in this game was just play through the World Cup. Now, I know the Ultimate Team World Cup game mode is kind of fun. There's no way I'm giving this more than a 1 for the game modes. In fact, that even feels like a lot. Now, at least one good thing this game had was a proper simulation system. And so we are right now simming through the World Cup. By the way, one more thing to check. Messi's overall, and he was 94 rated. And looks like Neymar got his highest ever rating, 93. This was also the World Cup we saw the birth of the young Kylian Mbappe, 85 rating. Oh my days, Ronaldo got a higher rating than Messi at this World Cup. I think that's because of his hat-trick against Spain, 95. By the way, we simmed through the World Cup and look at this. Spain got knocked out in the group stages. And in the knockouts, Brazil kept marching on. They even knocked out France to make the final. But on the other side, it was Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal who somehow made it through. And let's just see who's going to win the World Cup, boys. Is it going to be Ronaldo? Oh, it's actually Brazil. Fair enough. I'm now testing out the gameplay, and I will say one thing. This is when I guess the graphics kind of peaked. Like, we're now on the PS4, and that's why player models, the stadium, it all looks amazing. Oh, it's penalty for Argentina. Of course, we had to have a Messi pen for a World Cup video. Come on, Messi. Score this. Score this. Easy penalty. But yeah, I think for graphics, I gotta give this a 5 out of 5. Gameplay, though, I'm gonna give it a 3 because I think it's kind of connected to having game modes. All you can do in this is just mindlessly play the World Cup. There's nothing more. So the gameplay will just end up getting really repetitive and boring. And I guess the graphics is kind of just save FIFA 18. So I wouldn't be putting it up so highly on my list. In fact, I'm disappointed with how little this game offers. But let's now move on to the most recent World Cup game. Sadly, though, once again, the World Cup was just a DLC for the main game, which was FIFA 23. Bro, just being on this game makes me depressed. This is even worse. There's literally nothing. All you can literally do is just play through the World Cup. No qualifying, nothing. And since EA had 4 years to think about how they ruined the FIFA 18 World Cup mode, I can't believe they just did the same exact thing. I can't lie, boys. I can't, in my good conscience, give this more than a freaking 0. Now, at least EA did something decent and included some of the unqualified teams, but I still don't think it's good enough. On a side note, I just want to check the Messi versus Ronaldo battle, and Messi was only 91. You'd expect him to be higher rated considering he won the World Cup this time around, but he was higher rated than Ronaldo, who got just a 90. Now, as far as graphics, as I said, it kind of peaked back in FIFA 18 itself. Like, I don't see much of an improvement here. The gameplay has been made a lot slower. You can definitely feel the difference, and I don't know if I like it. For graphics, I guess I'll just give it a 5 because it kind of has peaked. But for gameplay, again, I'll probably just give it like a 2. Because there's nothing to do in this game mode. Where am I going to be playing the game? In terms of the rankings, it does look like the 2014 World Cup game was the pinnacle. And I genuinely feel like it. I had so much time even in this video playing through that World Cup. And I'm really hoping for 2026 we maybe get a game like that. It would genuinely be so awesome. Now, the thing is, we don't even know if we're going to have a World Cup game because EA don't have the license. But let me know in the comment section if you think we need a World Cup game with all those features, the qualifying, the challenges mode, the passport stuff that we saw. I really hope EA see this video and decide to innovate once again, or whoever makes the World Cup game. And hey, if you want to see that happen, maybe I need y'all to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. For now, why don't you try and watch me win the Champions League in every FIFA ever? Click here.